So, I mean, what's your take?
Well, as I've mentioned earlier, Nigeria doesn't want a rubber-stamped National Assembly. We want an independent National Assembly this time around. And I believe we have capable hands among the senators elect. Somebody like Abdulaziz Yari, if I can mention, is really a very capable hand. When he was chairman Governors Forum, he was able to unite the governors, and we have all seen that. Nigerians are all living witnesses. When he was the governor of Zamfara State, he has done tremendously, very, very well, more than any other governor of Zamfara State. Abdulaziz built roads, even that of federal roads, he built and submitted it to the federal government. He built state roads and the township roads. When it comes to the aspect of rural electrification, Abdulaziz has done so much well, more than any other governor in Nigeria. In fact, Fashola, when he was Minister of Power, said that the federal government will imitate him. They will copy his model. In fact, he was the role model during Fashola's minister as Minister of Power. He built motorized boreholes, and there was 80% subsidy on fertilizer. So you can imagine, the maize was cultivated in large quantity, and this was able to, as a result of the 80% subsidy on fertilizer.
Wow.
And the poultries were able to get a lot of maize during that time. And that was why, if you can recall, during that time, Zamfara poultries were being built during his time. So I believe he's capable, and I am calling on the Mr. President-elect to please allow for a free and fair and peaceful contest on the day of the inauguration of the National Assembly.
Okay. So, Fabian, your final answer.
Well, I want to say very clearly that the three top candidates we have Akpabio. I will call him Akpabio, even though he's Senator Akpabio. We have Senator Abdulaziz Yari, and then we have Senator Ojuzo Kalu. Now, if you look at these three candidates, now I'm talking to the senators who are going to vote. If you look at these three candidates, even Nigerians, now Nigerians should know this. If you look at these three candidates, you realize that the first one, which is Senator Akpabio, has been endorsed by the executive. In other words, Senator Akpabio is clearly a rubber stamp candidate for Senate president. In other words, if we vote him, if you guys vote him in, it's just going to be rubber stamp, and it will be business as usual. Now, if you look at the last candidate, which is Ojuzo Kalu, you realize that his precedence over the years hasn't been very good. It hasn't been very good. Now, the only candidate that seem, I'm using the word seem carefully. The only candidate I am convinced would not be rubber stamp. This guy, I'm sorry to call him a guy, this gentleman, His Excellency, has been the president of the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum. He was governor for 8 years and did excellently well, like my brother here said, which I know of particularly because I have followed Zamfara State for a while now. And he's a man of his own. He's not a man that can be pushed around by even the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So it is the candidate we know that will not be a rubber stamp candidate. It's the man that would actually stand for the good of Nigerians. So at this point, I want to say that across party lines, PDP, APC, Labour, NNPP, please vote for the candidates that will not be rubber stamp. And you know the three major candidates, and you know the one now that will not be rubber stamp. Thank you very much.
Right, Aminu, let's round up with you.
Thank you very much. Well, remember a saying that to whom much is given, much is expected. I think during the recent election that ushered in the president-elect, we have seen the voting pattern and we have seen the number. Well, democracy, as it is said, is a game of number. Northwest produced the highest number of votes for Mr. President. You see, Abdulaziz Yari has done so much well there in terms of bringing votes to him. I think a large percentage. So I think Abdulaziz is the answer to 10th National Assembly. He has the competence, he has the pedigree, and I believe he's trustworthy. We can trust him. I am calling on the senators-elect to please rally round behind Abdulaziz Yari and elect him as a Senate President of the 10th National Assembly, and we will all be happy. Thank you.
So, on that note, we'll round up. You want to summarize your expectations from the incoming government? That was where we started.
Yes, having looked at the 10th National Assembly, I would say that if this incoming government wants to do well, they should start from there.
Wow.
They should make sure to win the hearts of Nigerians, given that the election that brought them in is even in contest. So let the National Assembly election, especially that for the Senate President, be independent. That way you will win the hearts of Nigerians. Because Nigerians will begin to see the President-elect as a man of justice and equity, not one that wants to meddle with the future and lives of Nigerians. So, Mr. President-elect, please, remove your hands. Tell your men to remove their hands from the National Assembly election. Let us have a truly independent election for Senate President and for House of Representatives. Thank you very much, sir.